So hey guys,
Hello.
we are excited to share this video with you. Not to see our mess necessarily, but to watch us clean it up. This is the day after Blessing Day, which is our family Christmas, and oh my word,
It was a huge event.
and it was very messy. And you would not believe how much trash we've already taken out.
Oh yeah,
So
bags and bags.
yep, and we're gonna tell the story of how we first met. So I hope that you enjoy this clean with us. So let me preface by saying if you hear kids in the background, it's because we have kids in the background. We are Judah and Samara, and we have 8 children. And in this video, I actually have our 3 nieces with us as well. My sister went on a trip. So there are 11 kids, 15 and under on this video, and most of them live with us full time. A question we get asked a lot is, are they all our kids? Yes.
Yep, they're all ours.
Us two, 8 kids after, 23 chromosomes each. They are all of ours. So,
Yeah, and people ask, we get it all the time. As if you're a big family, you probably do too. Like, hey, you know what causes that, don't you? And sometimes we give a sarcastic answer. Sometimes we just nod and walk away. But yeah, we've definitely figured it out by now. So we always said that we would just keep having them until we had a bad one, and we haven't had a bad one yet. So number 8 came. He's obviously not bad either, but we'll see how many more we end up with.
or no more. We'll see. We did say that, but I don't know if that's where I still stand. 8's a lot. We're very blessed. I wouldn't trade any of them for anything, as anyone who's a parent would say the exact same thing.
Right.
Um,
So as you can see, it's quite messy in here. This is like Mayor said, this is our blessing day. It's like our Christmas for the whole family. Where Samara's family started the tradition of Blessing Day. It's on the first of every year. So we have Christmas usually with my parents, or my mom. Dad is in heaven now. On Christmas, and then we do Blessing Day on January 1st every year. And the family comes to our house. We have the biggest living room, so we tend to fit better in there. We're already a big family, and then 5 kids come over, including Samara. 5 of the kids, Samara's sisters and brothers, all their kids,
spouses,
spouses,
my
mom and dad.
parents.
So it's a big event, and it leaves a big mess. So
But it's our favorite day of the year. At least it is mine. Um, this shot is just showing every tiny little thing that is everywhere. There's stuff everywhere.
yeah,
Tell the kids not to open up toys that day because things will get lost. And like, yeah, there's sticky stuff on the couches. It just is crazy. But like I said, this all was clean yesterday, so we're not like living in this mess. But anyways, let's get to how we first met. I was 16,
I was
and
17.
yep, and we both tried out for a play at a church. It was the Christmas Carol, and I had never done anything like that. So it's surprising that I even did because that's really not my thing. Had you been in any plays before that?
Um, Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
Never did anything like that in high school or anything. But
And so it was a church play, but it was open to other people to try out. Like you didn't have to go to that church. So I actually didn't even go there. My mom wanted to do it and asked if I would, and I was like, sure. It was something that we could do together, and Judah did go to that church at the time.
yeah. So at that time, I had just gotten saved a few months before, met the Lord in August of 2004, and fell in love with Jesus and started looking for a godly wife. I was only 17, but wasn't interested in a girlfriend, was interested in finding who the Lord had for me forever. So I think I met Samara, it was what, October? You
Yeah, it
had
was.
just turned 16.
Yep.
I was 17. And so I walked into the church. We were having play practice. I think it must have been the first
It
one
was
because,
tryouts.
oh, it was tryouts. Okay, because we had never met. So I came in and we were all sitting in the church, and I looked over and noticed a young lady.
Oh boy.
and started asking, Lord, is that the one? I was on the hunt, for what the Lord had for me. So I went over and sat in front of her, the row in front of her, and as play practice was going on or play tryouts, I kind of just turned around while people were talking and said, "Hey, I'm Judah." And she looked up and she said, "Samara."
Oh yeah, I did.
And then she got up and went and sat with her mom. So
Yeah, you got to remember though, I was a homeschooled kid, and I had never been like quote unquote pursued, and his intentions I just knew what they were. And if you see what Judah looks like now, he looked the same back then even though he was 17. And so here I am, a newly 16 homeschooled kid, and this guy who looked like he was a man came and was like talking to me, and it really freaked me out. I'd never been like around this group of people before. We knew like the lady who was running it, which is how we got connected. But yeah, I was like, "Whoa, buddy." And I went and sat by my mom, and it's so funny. And later I found out how old he was, and that did make I did talk to him after that. But we all got parts in the play, and during the practices, which we had a lot of practices, I want to say it was 2 at least a week. It was like a big
yeah.
production. It wasn't like your normal like little, Christmas
Yeah,
Eve
it was well
play.
done.
Yeah.
The gal that was putting it on, she is very theatrical. She had been in some plays and things like that. Actually, had some friends who came and tried out for the play who were in that business, and so it was very well done. Good production.
Yeah, and so we went and we got the parts for the play, and we had assigned seats for the rehearsals, because everything we did it like we were going to be doing it the night of the show. And she assigned me seats between Judah and his brother Joe. And all of us ended up being good friends, but Judah got to know me on his own way, if you want to tell that part.
Yeah, so I realized Samara's mom was also in the play. Had a great singing part in the play, and I thought, well, I'll get to know her mom. So maybe if mom likes me, then maybe Samara will like me. So I started talking to her mom, who's extremely nice and friendly, and so I started mentioning something. Somehow we got on the subject of my my hair needing cut, and she said, "I'll cut your hair." So I
It's so
said,
easy, guys.
"Oh,
Listen to that.
great.
It's so easy.
Yeah." So I was like, oh, "Okay, yeah." So I went over to their house, found out where she lived. Turned out she only lived a 10-minute walk, from my house. Of course, I wasn't driving at the time, but so I could walk straight to her house.
That's
That
how you
thing
do
looks
type of
disgusting.
gas.
I feel like there's easier ways to do
There is.
this. Ew.
Oh,
That's disgusting. How'd it taste?
how's it smell?
Oh!
That's how it tasted. Yep. I can't do it. I'm gonna throw up.
You only got a tiny bit out.
I need it lower. There we go.
There's a ton of baby
Oh,
green
God.
manses in there. Baby.
Oh, it smells like a dumpster.
So do you. Oh!
I'm done. So I went over there and got my hair cut. And then, of course, got to know mom and dad, got to know the family a lot better at that point. Samara realized I was not a 30-year-old bearded man,
That was important.
that I was actually only, about 15 months older than her. And I'm pretty sure from that time it was on.
I think it's 7 months. A
7
year and
months.
7 months, so
Oh, a
19
year and
months.
7 months. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yep. And we fell in love really fast and really, really hard.
yeah.
We were inseparable. Like Judah said, we were really close together. And even though he couldn't drive, he would walk over to my
In the
house
winter.
in the winter. Yeah, you would. He would walk over, and we basically spent any amount of time my parents would allow we were together. But we had a couple that would pick us up for play practice, and so we got to know each other on the drive over. And Judah was my first like real boyfriend. Before him, I think I had a relationship that lasted like 5 days before that, and that was not okayed by my parents. Sorry, parents, if you're listening to this. But the Lord knew, and I'm so glad that I didn't give my heart to anybody else, and that I was able to save it for Judah. And yep, it's so crazy because the Lord knows you so much better than you know yourself. I didn't want kids growing up, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to get married. And here we are later, we're getting ready to celebrate 17 years of being married, and we have 8 kids. And I can't imagine my life any differently. Like, having a career, making money, sure, that stuff is great, especially if that's what you're called to do. But this was what I was called to do, and I didn't even want to do this. And so I'm just so thankful that the Lord knows us better than we know ourselves.
That's right. Just as a side note, you see me sweeping or saw me sweeping up those pine needles there. Just a little tip: sweep those up with the broom.
Yep.
You try to sweep them up with that vacuum, it's clogging right now. So
We do love our vacuum though. I'll talk about that too. We we are the type where if you show us something, we're probably going to buy it. It's terrible and we know that about ourselves, but our friends told us about this vacuum. They love theirs, and my mom had one of these growing up too. And so
this is a Kirby.
yeah, it's a Kirby. So this guy came over to shampoo our rug because our carpets had just been cleaned. And sure enough, he left and his vacuum stayed with us. So we bought this vacuum, but that thing, I'm telling you, has been amazing. We've
It's
had
been
it
good.
since we moved into our house, which has been 7 years. And we had to get it fixed once, which cost, I think it was like $130. But besides that, we have had zero issues with it. And we were buying a vacuum at least once a year
Oh
before
man, then
that.
those Bissell Walmart vacuums or stuff like that, they just don't hold up around here. I mean, even when the
No,
Kirby guy was here, he was sweeping stuff off the floor
after we had
after we
vacuumed.
had vacuumed.
Yep.
And then, of course, showing it to us. I think he found like a coin or something one time and swept it up. And of course, you always pick up coins with your vacuum.
Hmm.
And he did it on purpose. He saw it and went right for it. And he's like, I just want to show you how strong this thing is, and didn't do no damage at all. It's been a very good vacuum. It did come with shampooing equipment too, but the shampooer setting and whatnot on it just leaves something to be desired. I think they
Yeah.
really focused on the vacuum part of it, so it's worked well for us. But like Mayor said, it is expensive.
Yeah, it was expensive, but I think that's like one of the only things that we have been talked into that I don't regret. It sounds terrible, but yeah, anyways, I do love that vacuum if you're looking for one. The only thing I don't like about it is that you have to like take the front off and put the hose on. It's not one of those easy ones where it's all connected and you just go.
Yeah, it's
There's a little step there, but it is
yeah,
great.
and they use bags. It's not a
Yes.
bagless, so you
But
got to
that's
buy
better if
bags
you have
for it.
allergies, we have heard. So,
Yeah, that's true.
yep. So there I was just making lunch for all of these kiddos, and my one little niece, she doesn't like mac and cheese. She just likes the straight noodles. So that was why that was there. I think I'm going to get back to that. Um, but this is our kitchen, and we remodeled this. We're still working on it, but you can see on the right on the top there was like a wall there that we took out, and it's been a slow progress, but I love it. This used to be our dining room, and we moved it over here, and it is so much more space, and it's just really
Oh
great.
man, yeah. Just looking at it now, like just thinking about how it did look. We
Yeah.
used to have blue carpet in that
Yep.
room. Of course, nothing but walls and such. That window on the left, that's a black frame vinyl window that we had to frame in because the window before went from the top of that window all the way, pretty much all the way to the floor. It was a huge window, so we took that out, framed a new one in. It took us forever to find
Yeah.
one that's black in, black out.
Yeah, that did. But it
Um,
looks so good. It was worth
and
it.
that wasn't cheap, So the Lord has
Nothing's cheap.
blessed us, right? There's nothing's cheap anymore, especially building materials. But the Lord's blessed us, and He continues to. So when we find something that we like, even if it's just one of us that likes it,
Hmm.
we go ahead and try to see what He has for us. So
Yep.
anyway, like Samara said, all these cabinets are new. That was fun. I put all these in, put all the countertops in. There are a few things I've had to sub out. We subbed this floor out just because
Time.
Time. I mean, going through the whole house, I just didn't have time to do it. So
Yeah. It goes from our front door all the way to the back door, but it already needs replaced. So that's great. Never buy this floor.
yeah, this is
uh,
vinyl from Lowe's.
it's supposed to be the best. Nope.
Yeah,
Not
it
a
has
fan.
not worked well for us. I don't know if it's just all the foot traffic we have or the quality of the floor itself, but just get laminate. Just get a
Yep.
hard, thick laminate
Or real wood
or real
if you got
wood,
it in the
maybe
budget.
something with a coating that takes water well. That's basically why they sold us on this floor. Was they said, "Oh, you'll get water everywhere, all them people, and you need something real good with water." Well, maybe this floor is great with water, but it is terrible at durability. So
Agreed. Agreed. And
yeah,
I honestly don't even think it was us. I think it was this floor because 3 months in, it was already chipping. There was water damage, and it was several spots. It wasn't like one spot. So I don't know if we got a bad batch or what. But we're just having a very simple, not good for you meal of fish sticks and mac and cheese because we have so much to get done. And I
comfort
was trying
food.
to do something really quick. But back to our dating story. So we started dating January 6th in 2005. We seem Isn't that crazy that that was 20 years ago? So we have been together longer than I've been alive now. So that's really cool. Um, so we started dating then, and he proposed to me in
'22nd.
July 22nd. Oh, I didn't even know that, of '07. And that was a cute story too. We were broke. Like, let's just be real. We had no money, and I remember we had like $8, I think, to go on a date, and my mom had zoo passes, and so we went to the zoo, and that was really fun. And then we went to the Dollar Theater
Dollar
to watch a
Theater.
movie. But first we went to Wendy's, and back when you could get sandwiches for $1,
Yeah.
we got some sandwiches. So we each got 2 sandwiches, and then we went to the movie theater, and we were there early, and I think we were seeing Spider-Man.
Man, we're spending too much these days.
Oh man, eight
We went to the
dollars
zoo, a
Yep.
restaurant, and a movie for $8.
Yep, dating
Wow.
tips 101. No, but
I
we
don't
just
remember
did,
that.
but we had a great time. And we were at the movie theater, and we went and sat early. So we were the only ones in there, and Judah asked me to be his wife. And it's so cute because he was so nervous. He forgot to get on one knee. I didn't mind. He teared up. It was so sweet, and I was very excited. So I was 18, almost 18. No, I was 18 when we got
Yeah.
engaged.
I was super nervous.
I
And
don't
I
know
don't know,
why.
yeah, I don't know why, because we knew we were going to get married. I'd probably asked her to marry me 100 times before that,
Or
and
talked about
so
our future, or
actually asking, yeah, was really nervous. I basically forgot how to talk and how to, what I was supposed to do, and you know, just kind of winged it.
but it was very exciting. And so we got engaged in July, and we wanted to get married right away. We actually tried to convince everyone to, like, hey, let's do this in December, and that was a no. So we waited and ended up getting married April 19th of 2008.
Right.
Yep.
We did. Now listen, we did for you. Anybody younger who's watching this, we respected our parents. She was over 18. I was 19, almost 20. So we could have gotten married. We could have just rebelled and said, no, we're going to do this. But we respected our parents because they have wisdom. Okay. And so keep that in mind. There's a biblical narrative in there that you need to respect your parents, listen to their wisdom. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so it
My
really
kids listen to this very closely.
yeah, children, I hope you're listening. Yes. And it was a blessing. It could have been a rushed thing, a pushed through thing,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was a blessing, and we got married on a great day and had plenty of time to plan. Of course, Samara did, and her family did virtually all the planning. I was just like, just tell me what to wear.
It is
So
so crazy too, because nowadays there's Pinterest and all these ideas and how to do. There was nothing like that when we got married. And so everything
yeah,
was kind of like, I mean, I had goldfish in the centerpieces that all died
yeah,
before the night was out.
yep. Every table.
I worked at a pet store, so that was kind of like the thing, and my favorite color was orange at the time, and so our colors were orange and chocolate, and the men wore chocolate suits. And it's so funny because I would do things so much differently now, but my
Oh yeah,
19-year-old self, it was absolutely just perfect. My budget was $2,000, and including my dress, we did everything for 2,600 bucks. And so my parents gave us everything that they could, and we were so blessed by it. And then we pitched in the extra little bit there, and we had just a great wedding.
You did.
It was,
Little country church,
yep.
you
And
know.
honestly, even to date, I really feel like it was the funnest one I've been to. We
It
had a
was fun.
bubble machine and a strobe light. I mean, and we're just like a bunch of Christian kids. I mean, remember, like, having a good time without drinking, or like it was just
Right.
us, and it was so fun, and just like an innocence there, and really just wonderful.
And we had a lot of people that helped too.
We did.
Family stepped up. We had some friends that helped in the kitchen because
Yep.
I, in my mind, I had this whole big wedding feast. Like it must be a feast. You know, it
He
can't
wasn't
people.
paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, people need to leave there full. They come, hungry. They want to party. In the church, of course, not.
Not the worldly
Yeah, not
sense.
worldly partying, but they want to have fun, and have a good time, and they want to be full. So I was like, we gotta have lots of food, and we gotta have everything we can get. We ended up having Chinese food
Yep.
that we
That I
made
got
ourselves.
yeah, we got it at Sam's Club, and then just reheated it. I think the food was more, it was $1,000. So it was crazy.
Hmm.
The food was the biggest part of the budget. And then my grandma actually bought us the cake, which was really nice. It
Man,
was
I
a
wish we
beautiful
had a
cake.
picture we could put on here because the cake, it was 3-tiered cake,
Yeah, and then it had a fountain in the
and it had a
middle, which is
fountain
super old
underneath of it.
school, but it was
But
fun.
yeah, that cake would probably be $1,000
Oh,
today.
at least.
It
At
was like
least.
$300 back then, which
Yep.
we thought was super expensive for a cake at the
Oh, yeah.
time. We're like, whoa.
We're like, we're not
But
buying that. And then my uncle did our photography. He did a really great job, and it was such a blessing.
hmm
And I'm trying to think. And my grandma played the piano. Oh, I miss my grandma, Nanu. Um, but it was
it was good.
special. All my grandparents were there. We had a lot. It's so funny too. Okay, so we had our invitations, and I wove chocolate and orange ribbon at the top, and then tied these really like tacky, I don't know, silver rings on the middle. I thought they looked so pretty, and our picture was on them, and they were really nice. Well, didn't know that you have to have special stamps so the invitations don't go through this machine at the post office. And so a lot of our invitations got lost in the mail. I think we had like 2 RSVPs for our wedding, but I knew we would have a lot of people. Everybody, I'm telling you, everybody likes Judah. And so we just prepared, and
And
we had
Samara, of
over
course.
200 people at our wedding with 2 RSVPs. And so, like, people told me they were coming, but like an official RSVP, how they do now. And it's like, there's no way we could have done seating charts, but I'm telling you, that church was full. Every table at the reception hall was full. It was so funny though to think back now, like that just would not work nowadays for like a sit down dinner wedding, but it worked for us. And that's like
Yeah,
kind of is the tone for our whole life, is we're super chill and laid back and just kind of roll with the punches, and whatever happens happens. And I think that's how we can make this large family work, is because we're okay with things just happening when they need to happen.
yeah. We
Like,
trust in the Lord.
yeah.
We put our lives in His hands, and so I can tell you, people when they hear, oh, I've got 8 kids, we got 10 people in here, and all this, they hear like in their minds they think that just sounds so chaotic and so crazy and whatnot. And yeah, sometimes it can be chaotic and stuff, but when you're all sitting in the same room, just sitting around talking and having fun, it doesn't feel like big. It feels like a normal size family,
Yeah.
you know? And that happens if you're close knit. And that's the way we're trying so hard to be and to stay with these kids, to stay close to us. And we've told them, of course, we tell them how much we love them all the time, so they know they're loved and whatnot. And we want to be close to each other. And so we try to ground them in godly principles so that they don't depart from that when they get older. We try to implant that family, next to the Lord, family is the most important thing.
Yep.
I mean, family you always have, until you go home to be with the Lord. And so, anyway, just if you're a young family who is thinking about maybe having a lot of kids or whatnot, if that's in your heart, then do it. Don't worry about what the world says, a financial burden or
Yeah.
anything like that. You know what you do when you start getting more kids than you got money for? start splitting everything.
Oh yeah, that's it saves money and
You know?
calories.
Yeah, you
Yep.
go to Subway, instead of getting them a 12-inch sub, have them split a 12-inch sub. Now you got six. And the little kids, we used to take the 12-inch subs when the kids were probably, I don't know, 5 and younger, 6 and younger, maybe. We have the Subway cut it into thirds. So cut that thing into thirds. They don't need 6 inches. They're all right with 4 inches. They got chips too, and all that, And so just there's ways to make it work. We
Yeah.
haven't had to try very hard to make it work. It's been fairly easy to make it work.
Well, the Lord will always provide. And, I've noticed so many times where someone doesn't have the next size clothes that they need or whatever. And then next thing you know, hey, I put a bag of clothes in your
Oh
van. They're
my
size
word!
3T. And it's like, that's exactly what I needed. And we've had an abundance of what we need.
Absolutely. And
And yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The hard part about raising kids today is not spoiling them,
Yeah.
right? Because you want to give them everything that they want. You want to give them, of course, we give them everything they need, but you want to give them everything that they want too. And that's hard because when you've been blessed and whatnot, and you're able to give them quite a lot, it's hard to just say no so that they don't, get spoiled with things. So when we go shopping, most of the time, like the kids love it when I say, "Hey, let's all get together, go get some clothes." We'll go to like one of the big, big thrift stores. We live close to Columbus. We like to go over to one in Columbus, and when we give them $100 each to get clothes, they understand I'm not getting one pair of pants and one shirt with this.
Right.
I'm getting like a whole bag of clothes with this, and that excites them. So we say that because this is one way where they'll grow up knowing, well, we were definitely well taken care of, but we didn't go out and waste money on a $300 pair of buckle jeans,
And
you
if
know.
that's something that they want, then we'll say, well, we were going to give you $20 for pants and you'll have to save up the rest. So it's not like they can't get those things if they want them. But
Shoot, right. And like I said, these kids have more money than I ever had at their age. My goodness. I didn't have, of course, didn't have a job till I was a little older, but allowance and whatnot, man, they do babysitting. There's people from church or whatnot who have them come and do chores sometimes for money. Of course, they get allowance from us because we do want to bless them when they help out and do what they're supposed to do.
yeah, so they could definitely save up for stuff that they want to get. But I also
Hmm.
don't feel bad for not providing those things. We provide them with so much love and we're teaching them about Jesus and we're giving them an education and they know how much we care about them, and those are the things that I want them to look back on their childhood and remember. I want them to remember all the time that we got to spend with them because we weren't trying to spend all of our time working to buy them nice things.
Right.
And so hopefully they see the time that we gave them because that's our most valuable thing we can offer is time.
Well, that's right.
And so that is like what I want for them.
And that's really what everybody wants.
Yeah,
Because when you lose a family member, a parent or whatnot, nobody that I know says, "Oh, I wish they would have just given me more money,
right?
or bought me more stuff." No, we all say the same thing. I wish I would have had more time with them.
Yeah.
And even though we're spending as much time as we can right now, I mean, you'll still never get enough because when a person's gone, you can't have any more time with them until you meet again. But everybody wants more time, and like Samara said, that's our goal, is when we think about what we want to do with the rest of our lives, and the lives we want to live and work, and making money. What are we going to do to make money? All this stuff. Time is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, consideration of how much time we're going to get with the family.
Also, I just want
So
to say I'm sorry this camera has been in terrible positions. I think the kids are helping and so was I, and it's just not great video quality. But hopefully the message is good and you maybe got some cleaning done too while you listen and
they
watch one with
literally
us.
put it behind the soap
I
bottle.
know,
Look at
I
that.
don't understand it. It's okay. We're learning, right? We're all
Yep,
learning.
absolutely.
But all we are gonna do like a before and after, and it's amazing how fast you can clean up with 10 people.
Oh yeah.
And I mean the baby doesn't really count, but he's one of us. So
Yeah, and we do this thing now, where we just started doing it this year.
yeah,
They all do chores, and of course we we do our fair share of chores here as well,
and they get
inside
one
and
day off a
outside.
week.
Yeah, they get a day off a week. But we do this thing now. It's our hour of cleaning. where we all group together and we all hit one room, and then when that one's done, we go to the next room and we all pitch in, and it gets done so much faster, and it
Yeah.
allows you to do some of the things that you wouldn't be able to do by yourself. If you're cleaning a room, you're going to clean the bulk of it with the time you have. You may not be able to get to the little stuff, the nooks and crannies and whatnot, but that really helps us get to that stuff doing it this way, and we get to spend that hour doing something productive together.
Yeah, so we do that once a week on Sundays. We all spend an hour together, and then they get 1 day a week off, and then the rest of the days they have a room that they're in charge of cleaning, and that's how we do it. And like Judah said, we do give them allowance, and I just found out that we actually give them a decent amount. So I'm not going to say what we give them, but I found that it's actually pretty good. So I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
all right. But they help a lot, and it does take all of us to make this work. Not that I put our stuff on the kids, but we're working as a team. We're the Reisner team, and I feel like we do a really good job working together.
Mhm.
And hopefully, they look back and remember this as all good things. I remember cleaning out my house, and in the time you don't like it, no one wants to clean, but it does make you feel like you're part of something.
Sure, this
And
is their home. They should
right.
be proud of it and should help take care of it by all means. They also get vacation days. I just want to say that.
Oh yeah, that's
I
true.
give them 8 vacation days a year, because stuff comes up, and that doesn't include days that we are actually on vacation. Like, they don't have to use it for basically anything that we initiate, like,
Yeah, just when they want
going
a
on
day off.
vacation or something. So they can pretty much take those when they want, unless there's an event coming up and we can deny them. But
Oh yeah, it's
they
like,
like that.
oh, it's Christmas tomorrow. Let me take it. Excuse me, please.
Yeah,
We need your
the
help.
place has got to be clean for
Yeah,
Christmas.
right.
So
So there's still stuff out, but guys, we live here, and so they're playing with toys, and we're still actually cleaning. But I knew if I didn't get a video soon, I was gonna miss it, and so I did just do this little after video. But it's so much better.
oh yeah,
We worked as a team. We got it done, and we can't wait for Blessing Day again.
yep,
I'm holding my sweet little baby. Oh, I love him so much. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
yep.
And
Hope this helps.
yeah, I hope that you guys have. I just thought this video was so cute, so I put it in. Isn't it funny how kids always want to play in the clean room? Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what room it is. I clean the laundry room. There they are. But anyways, remember, by grace alone, you can make your day happen too.